Testimony back underway in Sean Diddy Combs' federal sex trafficking trial. For more on that right now, let's go live together to New York City, where we find Court TV legal correspondent Kelly Craft there covering the case for us. She was inside the courtroom for big day on Monday when things opened up. She's back there today. Kelly, good morning to you. What kind of a day can we expect today in that courtroom, please?
Well, good morning to you, Julie. The Karen Reed case may not be happening, but it certainly is happening here in New York City for the continuation of the Sean Diddy Combs trial. The criminal trial, the government has brought the charges against Sean Diddy Combs, the hip-hop mogul, outside the courthouse here. Crazy as usual, just like yesterday. Julie, what took place this morning? So court proceedings got underway at 9:30 a.m. There were some arguments outside the presence of the jury. One of those, a win for the defense, because the defense is now able to bring in some text messages between Cassie Ventura, who is the government's star witness, some text between her and Sean Diddy Combs, in which she is telling Combs about a bar fight that she got into while she was in Connecticut visiting her family. So Combs was not present, but what the state was arguing is that these texts would be more prejudicial to the victim in this case, saying that, they put forth this theory and talked about how Cassie Ventura had a sense of peacefulness about her. Defense is saying, wait, not so fast. These texts are showing us a different side of Cassie Ventura, showing that she may not be as peaceful as the government wants to portray. So a win there for the defense because they get to bring in these text messages now. The second thing that was discussed this morning, will the public, will the media be able to see video of these freak-offs? During opening statements, we heard that the jurors are going to be able to see video of these freak-offs. These are these sexual encounters between, for instance, Cassie Ventura, as well as another woman, Jane, and male escorts, as well as Sean Diddy Combs. But there's an argument that only the jurors will be able to see these. So we'll have to see what happens. The judge is taking that under advisement. Right now, what's taking place is the continuation of the cross-examination of a man by the name of Daniel Phillip. Julie, he is the male stripper that was hired by, he said, Cassie to engage in sexual acts. So big news today here. We're also expecting Cassie Ventura to take the stand later on today, which of course is going to be very interesting testimony to listen to.
Oh, without a doubt, Kelly. As you know, she's key to this case. She really is, and her testimony could make or break things for the government and for Diddy. Tell me, just backing up for just a beat, you mentioned the witness on the stand currently, Daniel Phillip, the male escort. Starting things off yesterday, some really shocking pieces of information, as you know, came in, Kelly, about where he's detailing being asked to urinate on Cassie while Sean Combs was allegedly watching and masturbating. I'm curious if you noticed any reaction from the members of the jury when they were hearing a lot of that.
So inside the courtroom there, everyone is being told they cannot have any outbursts or anything like that or any real reaction. So inside that courtroom, no. There also, Julie, is media overflow rooms. And inside those media overflow rooms, a lot of reaction. So the public is in there as well. The public is making a lot of reactions. You hear a lot of commentary when these details are coming out. Outbursts, the security is coming over and talking to a lot of the people, telling them that they have to keep it down. But other people inside the actual courtroom for the case where that's happening, no real reaction at all. But this testimony, as you mentioned, Julie, has been graphic in nature, as he talked about, for instance, being asked to urinate onto Cassie, and he said she asked him to do that. He talked about Sean Diddy Combs being in the corner, masturbating at times as they were engaging in their sex acts. He talked about how their encounter took place, how he's a male stripper. He anticipated going there and just doing a striptease. But then eventually he said that Cassie offered him thousands of dollars, and then they eventually ended up engaging in sex acts. She also asked him if he was comfortable rubbing baby oil on him, and he was fine with it. And he said, so that's what they did. They rubbed baby oil on one another and then engaged in their acts while Sean Combs watched. So pretty graphic details, to say the least, Julie.
Oh, most definitely, Kelly. We know the jury was forewarned that it would be graphic. You wonder if they had any idea it would be this graphic. I know we have to let you get inside of the courthouse. Kelly Craft, thank you so much for that update. We'll look forward to hearing more reporting from you throughout the day. While that witness is still on the stand, let's talk a little bit about what he's sharing with the jury. So this is a male escort on the stand right now. And he said yesterday that he witnessed Combs beating Cassie. Let's talk about it. Let's bring in domestic violence expert Claudia King and retired deputy inspector with the NYPD, Corey Pegues. Okay, Claudia, how key do you think this witness is in proving these charges? They're looking to prove sex trafficking, transportation to engage in prostitution, and racketeering, that he used the Combs enterprise to engage in criminal behavior.
I think he's a great witness, and I think he was a good starter or near the beginning for the jury to hear from, because he can talk about so many different instances and situations that are relatable to other things that occur on video, so it makes him appear more credible. I think it was a great place to start, and I think he's doing very well so far.
Yes, I'm with you, Claudia. Corey, I want to ask you about those New York juries. You've got a lot of experience with them, having filed so many cases yourself, made so many callers throughout your career. How are the jurors there typically? Would they be hardened to stuff like this? Do you think it's all that shocking to them? I mean, Diddy's a New Yorker too, a big celeb up there. Your thoughts?
Yeah, listen, this is the naked city. We've seen everything.
Yeah.
Unfortunately,
just go to Times Square today, huh, my friend?
Yeah. Yesterday we had a 14-year-old boy shoot a 16-year-old girl. So, so we're used to seeing very heinous crimes in New York City, and I'm pretty sure that these jurors are locked in. They're listening to all information. Just like Claudia said, this was explosive from that first witness. But we do know, all of us do know, that the closing, like, this is very early. This is explosive, and it's going to be a long trial. But remember, like, the juries really remember, you know, the last few things that they hear at the end. So we'll see. There might be more explosive things than what we heard yesterday.
You're right, my friend. A+ trial advocacy student Corey Pegues right there. You know, primacy and recency. You hit on it. That's you know what I teach when I teach this stuff. You're absolutely right. Jurors remember what they hear first, what they hear last. You both know that from being seated there with lawyers when you try cases. You always want to emphasize certain things. And yesterday, it really seemed like both sides embraced the domestic violence aspect that is no doubt present here. Claudia, anxious to ask you about this. So from the prosecution side, they're painting Diddy out to be using violence in order to control various people. The defense side embraced it as, yeah, he's an imperfect guy. Yes, he did assault Cassie, and that was very wrong, but he's not on trial for assault here. It's something totally different, and the government can't prove it. What did you think about that?
I thought it was an interesting tactic for them to use, and I do understand it, because they're saying, yes, he did this, we all know he did it, we saw it with our own eyes, but that's all he did. So, you know, there's nothing else to see here. And I just don't know if that's going to work for them. We obviously do have a long way to go with the trial, but seeing that and then hearing this first witness or second witness talk about some similar incidents leads credibility. And so then when we see other things that have happened that he speaks about, it's going to make it seem more possible that these things really did occur.
Right. Excellent points, Claudia. Corey, let me go back to you for one other question. I just started thinking about this. Do New Yorkers feel any sense of attachment to Diddy because he's, you know, one of their own, you know, born and raised, and really, we know, just reached a tremendous amount of success, you know, coming from humble beginnings, and nothing was really handed to him. He worked for everything he's got. I'm just curious, is there any pride for him being a hometown guy?
Oh, absolutely. He is the ultimate rags to riches story. out of New York City. I mean, the guy had a school in Harlem. He had an entire school in Harlem. He's done so many philanthropic things in New York City. The guy spends a lot of money in New York City. He's always out and about doing everything, campaigning. So there's a lot of people. But remember, there's over 8 million people in New York City. There's actually a cloth of New York City that don't know Daddy Diddy. You know? It's not. It's in Boise, Idaho, where there's not that many people. So, I'm pretty sure they was able to find a few jurors that probably don't care about hip hop and Puff Daddy, Diddy, father, new name is. So, but the ones that's loyal, they're New York to the bone. And let's go Knicks.
Let's go next. Yeah, and if you're the government, you want some Tupac fans on the jury. Yeah, West Coast, right? Corey Pegues, great insight you're lending us. Thank you for that.